It's WrestleMania weekend, and we are collecting general content today with the one and only Sami Zayn. Sammy, it's been a while. What's the haps?
Well, Johnny Knoxville's ruined my life.
Yeah.
And now we're a day away or 2 days away from me finally getting revenge.
I have to be honest. There was a part of me that was like, maybe if I call Sammy and he picks up, I just get him on my podcast that way. I just record the phone call. And
I mean, you wouldn't have got the best version of me because it would have been a very frantic, why are you calling? Stop calling this number.
My favorite
part of that.
My favorite part of this whole process has been I had no idea that you brought your cell phone to the ring and left the ringer on.
Well, that was
on
actually
your way
an
to the
accident.
ring.
That was I was answering so many calls.
Yeah.
And I was doing a show, I don't even know where, did a live event, and I was on my way to the ring, and all of a sudden I feel the vibration. Which at first I was like, that can't be.
Right.
Because I was getting so many calls that I was starting to feel phantom vibrations. I don't know if you've ever had that.
Oh, yeah.
Where you think your phone's ringing. So the phone was ringing so much, it was actually affecting my central nervous system is what was happening.
Oh, my God.
So I thought I was just getting the shakes, but then I realized the phone was in my pocket. And I lost the match at night. So once again, I blame Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. I would.
But yeah,
too.
you know, it's my phone. And that's the thing. A lot of people they think it's like when I answer, they're absolutely shocked. That's actually been, if there's been one thing that's been mildly enjoyable, is some of the reactions when I actually answer and they see it's actually my phone number have been pretty fun. Especially when it's like some little kid, hello? This is Sami Zayn? Oh my God, it's actually you. This is actually your number.
And you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Well, so, and you know, a lot of times I'll start off that way, but I'll admit one or two of the fans have broken me when, you know, they're just, I can't go in on them. If they're sweet little kids, or sometimes, you know, I've had some people who are like, look, I've been doing really bad, but I've been watching your show and it really cheers me up. That kind,
really nice.
The kind of thing. Yeah. So I'll be like, hello, how'd you even get this number? Stop calling. Like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan. I've been watching. I'm in the hospital. I'm like, oh my God. Well, look, look, thanks for calling. You know what I mean?
I helped.
I do appreciate the kind words. It's not you I'm mad at. It's Johnny Knoxville. He's responsible for all this. Look, get better. Thank you. Thanks for being a fan.
It is good that you posted some of that stuff on your account just so people realize like how much this is affecting you. Because I think at first people thought it was one of those like weird celebrity, hey, fans text me things that are not real.
People thought a lot of the calls that I answer, they thought it was just going to go to voicemail or a hotline or like an automated message. So that's why, again, they're so shocked that it's actually my number.
Those old school hotlines when like the Undertaker would sing you happy birthday. and
Did that happen?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the WWE had a hotline messaging service.
Well, so I remember that, but I had no idea Undertaker would sing you a happy birthday.
100% would sing happy birthday.
If I find him, I'll ask him about that.
One of the, I believe it was Jerry Lawler who got Helen Hart a happy birthday call from
That's pretty funny.
The Undertaker.
That's
it was a good
funny.
bit. It was good. So,
oh, that's really funny. I'm making the connection now. That's really funny.
So, did you think when did like in your process with WWE, right? Because when you started in WWE, it was more like, hey, here's Sammy, he's the underdog. Like, let's fight, let's go, everybody. And at some point, like, that super entertaining side of you came out, and I feel like you've developed into one of these people that kind of can go with what you feel, and you're very trusted, it seems like, in terms of doing what you do. Was there something that happened that turned that corner for you, or was it a gradual thing? Or
well, so that's a pretty loaded question here, but there's factors that I could control, and there's factors that are out of my control, and some of that is just timing and when the right person sees the right thing that makes that connection. As you know, sometimes that's how it works here, right? Yeah. So I think for a long time, just having those matches and being that character and whatever, it'll only get you so far with regards to like microphones and storylines. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then with enough repetition and success, a decent success rate, that starts to get handed to you more and more. So I think that's also why I've been in such a good place mentally with WWE for the last couple of years, is I don't feel like I have to beg or like knock down doors to just get opportunities. I feel like, and I don't want to say I'm handed great opportunities, but I'm handed something.
But you also recognize it, right? Like the idea that like this Johnny Knoxville thing is
awesome.
It's incredible.
I am having the time of my life with it. as an artist, I suffer from my craft, so dealing with the phone calls.
Not great. Not great. Not a great thing.
But that's commitment is what it is. So all this to say, creatively, it's been very, very stimulating. Obviously, I have a lot of negative things to say about Johnny Knoxville, and I don't know how much time you have, but I could all day.
He's a scumbag.
Right.
Yeah.
Ruined my life. Anyway, we'll gloss over that for a moment, but only to say if I strictly look at it as a performer now, it's been very, very, very refreshing and different and creatively stimulating because he's not a normal wrestler.
Right.
And he's not even a normal celebrity.
Right.
So you can do some things really, really creatively to build a match in a way that you never normally would. If I'm wrestling Kofi Kingston or I'm doing a rivalry with Seth Rollins, he's not gonna post my phone number over to the city of LA.
Would make sense.
Right. Like a wrestling rivalry is confined to the parameters of a wrestling storyline. With Johnny Knoxville, that wall is kicked down. So all of a sudden, I'm showing up at his movie premiere. He's doing this stunt with the plane and answering phone calls on social media. All these out of the box elements that you don't normally do. So it's been very creatively stimulating to do all these things that you don't ever get an opportunity to do within the framework of a wrestling television show.
Yeah. Well, I got to release you. You got a lot of people that want to talk to you about everything that's been
Let's do one more.
Going on in your life. I want to know about the podcast thing. Like I love that you turned the sort of standard in-ring interview segment into a podcast because I also feel like
as a podcaster,
because
you feel a little shout out.
I feel a little shout out, and I feel like
represented.
I'm in that world, and so like I see the things that you're doing, and I'm like, this is a guy who listens to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, this is you're kind of directing the conversation the way a podcaster would, and I think that a lot of people wouldn't get that.
Well, so the thing about that is it didn't go nearly, we haven't even scratched the surface on what I want to do with the podcast because Johnny Knoxville stepped in and ruined my life. So I haven't had time to actually focus my efforts on the Insane podcast, but my idea was to actually put out the podcast every single week.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's what needs to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And without giving away too much of what's going on in my brain or how I want to present it, no matter what happens, the podcast goes out. So whether it's 3 minutes, whether it's whatever happens on the show is what gets put out.
Yeah.
And I think it would probably do kind of well because people's attention spans are short.
Yeah.
And, it's a 3-minute podcast or whatever, and you're going to
post it everywhere.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it never really took off the ground because of this whole Knoxville thing. But I don't think you've seen the last of the Insane podcast. And, another element of it that I personally really like is the idea of always wanting to steer the podcast towards a really philosophical or intellectual conversation about profound issues. But, of course, something happens where it never quite takes off.
And just being in that world, there are so many people that want control of their show and just can't go with the flow of where the show is going. There, no, we're talking about this. And it's just like, it's so funny.
Yeah. It's a play on that.
I love it. I love it. I hope that you destroy Johnny Knoxville.
Thanks for the support.
End him once and for all.
Yeah.
And we can get back to the podcast and expanding your
As
brand.
a podcaster, let's focus on what really matters.
Yeah.
Get rid of Knoxville. Come back.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
one of these days we got to sit down for hours and just get into that brain of yours.
I'll come to New York. I'll do your show.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sammy.
buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you.